So the last episode got a bit heavy. We got a little deep into the critique of Superman, so I wanted to do a story that's a little lighter this time around. In this episode, Superman is going to play some good old-fashioned American football, and he's going to use his powers to win with tremendous comedic effect. And I don't even want to talk too much about it. I don't want to spoil anything. Let's just get into the story. The story starts with these men on this train. Superman happens to overhear them planning a crime. One of these men happens to be a coach for a Metropolis college football team, and he plans to hire out these thugs to take out members of a competing team so that he can win the championship. So then Superman, overhearing this, he decides to do a little research and comes up with a little plan of his own. Then the story cuts to one Tommy Burke, who plays on the Metropolis team, but he is something of a lame duck. He can't seem to keep his girl happy because she wants a real athlete, and Tommy is the worst player on the team. Superman happens to look remarkably like Tommy and decides to disguise himself as Tommy and take his place on the football team to prevent some of the crime and shenanigans. So just so you know, ironically, this plan happens to create far more crime and shenanigans than it actually solves. Superman heads to the locker room to prepare for the game, but ends up getting into a fight with one of the other players. Using his superior strength, which Superman shouldn't use on people, he literally cripples the poor guy. Because of this, the coach grounds him for the rest of the game, probably deservedly so. However, Superman doesn't care at all. He takes to the field anyway and uses his tremendous power to start winning the game. Of course, the coach is frustrated by this because Burke is normally a terrible player and can't even handle the ball, but Superman seems to be winning the whole game himself. In fact, the game is going so tremendously well that the crowd is loving it, and the newspapers are getting involved. Everyone is ranting and raving about Tommy Burke's newfound football prowess without even knowing that it's actually Superman. The only person who isn't happy about this is ironically the coach, who is in danger of losing his championship. So now the coach has a plan. He takes a pocket knife and gives it to one of the thugs he hired earlier. He wants the thug to stab Tommy Burke in the middle of the game, but they don't realize that it's actually the Man of Steel in that football jersey. Of course, they try to stab him, but Superman just rushes past them unharmed. Then he takes the ball and scores a touchdown, winning the game. Just at this moment, the real Tommy Burke shows up at the game, only to realize that everyone is cheering his name for some reason. In the end, Superman pounds the two thugs into submission. The coach decides to resign from the university for his misgivings, and Tommy Burke lands the girl of his dreams because, well, she's under the impression that he's a great football star. All is well that ends well, I suppose. So I wanted to cover this story because it stood out to me as being similar to the previous story. Superman happens upon some kind of intrigue and decides to get entangled in these people's lives. But this time around, it's a little bit lighter and more comedic than it was beforehand. The mineshaft was more serious, but the theme still remains the same. Superman usurps the identity of Tommy Burke in this issue, and once again, he uses this role to meddle in the lives of humans. On the one hand, this is terribly entertaining for us, but on the other hand, it's just a little bit disturbing. However, I will say that there were much less negative consequences this time around. Tommy gets the girl, the crooks get punished, and the coach resigns of his own free will after having lost the game. So things, I feel, are truly better after having Superman get involved, and not in such a compulsory manner. So maybe there is hope for Superman as a vigilante after all. Anyway, I just genuinely like this story because there's something so compelling about Superman and football. Something about those two things, they just seem to complement each other so greatly. But that's it for this story. It's a quick one, I know. I just thought it was good, too good to pass up. But if you liked reading this comic with me and you wanted to read more, then why not like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're really feeling generous, you know, I've got a Patreon you can donate to. But Until next time, nerds, stay heroic.